Welcome, everybody, to Coffee with the President. We're here in Utah, Weber State University. Got the president here, Brad Mortensen. Thank you so much for having a little coffee.
Thanks, Alex.
It's great to be here. Ogden, first of all, is a great town.
Yeah.
The mountains right now, if you can see them, they're like snow-capped, but the weather is beautiful. It's a beautiful place to go to school.
Yeah, we feel really fortunate to be here. It's a beautiful place and beautiful campus.
Yeah, beautiful campus, like tucked up on like the foothills of the mountains.
Right.
It's so cool, and you're gonna love this episode. The students, what you've created from a culture standpoint here. So I'd love you just to talk about Weber State big picture. Like, what gets you so excited about this university and where it's headed? Let's start there, and then I got a ton of questions.
So Weber State is a place where I think every student comes and they can feel valued and belong, and we have students from every background, all ages, some right out of high school, some later in life coming back to school, but we just put our arms around everybody and really help them try to find the next step of success, whatever that is, academically or in their career, and it's a lot of fun to be a part of.
Yeah, it's so great. And the thing that I noticed, and you're going to learn about this in the episode, there's so much going on at this university with the community. Right. Serving the community, helping the community. Think about that. It's so important from an institutional standpoint. And it's so apparent in the episode. I'd love you to talk about that a little bit.
So I think of it in terms of we would not be here if this community hasn't time and time again kind of like fought to keep a college or university now in their town. In 1954, they did a statewide ballot initiative to keep the governor from giving us away and turning us away from not being a state school anymore. And so the people of Ogden just said, we're not going to let our university go. And they fought for us. And, politically, electorally, it made it happen. We were Weber State College. And they said, no, we need a university. And so they went to the legislature and to the State Board of Regents, and they said, we need a university in our town. And we're a university. Yeah. So because of that, we try to reciprocate back to the community that's made us who we are. And there's just this relationship where all the time we're trying to make sure that Ogden and
working with them,
Utah,
servicing them.
Right.
So you hear a funny story. So I was with some of your staff today after doing my stand-up for the show. We went to a Mexican restaurant in town, and so we're just sitting there and just thought it was like a normal. And they're like, "Oh, the people here are like such supporters of the university. They do a big they do a big drive to create scholarships for students every single year." So everything you're saying is like that just happened today during lunch. That's so cool.
Yeah, they do it once a year. Every dollar of sales, not just like the net profits from that day, but every dollar of sales they put towards a scholarship.
Wow.
And it goes to help our students.
That's great. That's great. Now, you're also doing a lot with Hill Air Force Base.
Right.
That's right next door. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, so Hill Air Force Base is one of the three main air logistics complexes for the United States Air Force. It's just down the road here. Lots of days you hear the planes flying overhead, and it scares people who come to campus for the first time. But they're doing a lot of great work with the F-35 jets, which is they do all the maintenance on those and sustain those. The F-16s, but then they have this new $90 billion contract to develop the next generation of intercontinental missiles. And that's happening right here. They need so many engineers and computer scientists and logisticians and supply chain people, accountants that we, our students just have so many opportunities to participate in that.
It's so cool. Do you know that we're
really
featuring
cool.
one of the students who's working over there?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. You're going to see it in the episode. Yeah,
cool.
it's super cool. Yeah.
So we have a lot. So, but they have, Elaine.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, and talking about the students, like when you think out, when you think about what are you most proud of with these students?
Yeah. So my favorite day of the year is when we have commencement. The first, and I worked at Weber for 15 years before I became president.
Yeah.
So
it's great because you know it. It's like
I know it. I'm part of it. I bleed purple. That's what we say around here. And the chair of our board of trustees was sitting next to me during that first commencement, and he said, "You're not getting paid today. You're having too much fun." And it's true, because every student just has a story that they tell that of how proud they are of their accomplishments. And, it's whether they're studying nursing or computer science or social work or English, they just, have that pride of pushing themselves and getting their degree. And And we're focused on students here at Weber State. That is why we're here and what we do. And so we all celebrate with them, and it's just a great place.
That's so good. Not to go back to my lunch that I had earlier with your stuff, but we were talking just about like the students in this episode and the generation. It's, when I was kind of making fun of myself, just being like where my head was at when I was graduating school, and then you meet these students here and what they're thinking about and what they're wanting to do to change the world for the better. It's like, it's so inspiring that like the next generation is in really good hands, thanks to what you all are doing here.
Well, and we know that we need to do everything we can to narrow that gap from what they experience here to what the real world is like, so that they can go out and be successful. And so we try to give them lots of real life hands-on experiences while they're here. And I hear from alumni across decades of Weber State alumni. They're like, I was more prepared once I got to graduate school or to the workforce or medical school, whatever it was, because of those hands-on personalized experiences I had when I was at Weber State.
So great.
Yeah.
So great. Any final thoughts to like the students, maybe their parents, maybe, a lot of counselors watch this as well, like out there about, coming and checking out this university.
The one thing about
who's the
Weber
perfect
State,
fit? Like, who is the perfect fit here?
So
and I know it's wide, but.
Right. To me, we have a little bit of a chip on our shoulder because, we don't have the biggest name of all the other schools in Utah. But, and we have an old basketball coach who told me this when I became president. He said, if you go to Weber State, if you're willing to work hard, you can beat anybody, any place, anytime.
Love that.
And so we just kind of have that little bit of a chip on our shoulder, and knowing that maybe the name of our school isn't as famous as some, but you can come here and do anything after that, and we'll challenge you to help you find potential you don't even know you have.
So well said.
Yeah.
Thanks for having
Alex,
a little
thank
coffee.
you.
Yeah, thanks a lot for having us here.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.
And we'll see you soon. Come check out Weber State. Awesome people, awesome location, and just can't say enough about this institution.
Thank you. Really appreciate having you here.
Cheers, everyone.